All right, astrology update. Let's talk about Saturn going retrograde. So, we have Saturn retrograde. We also have Pluto retrograde and we have Jupiter retrograde. But first, to talk about Saturn being retrograde. Saturn is the planet of our life lessons. It is the timekeeper of the zodiac. It represents our karma. With it being conjunct the South Node represents the past lifetimes. So, yeah, reviewing, some past karma. Yeah, Saturn is the structures that we have in our lives. It is the boundaries that we can kind of work within. So, with Saturn going retrograde, it's asking us obviously to pause, to take a step back, to reflect on the structures in our life, the foundation that we've kind of built our life upon, the boundaries that we're working within. Saturn represents like this earthly realm. So it could feel a little bit like getting smacked in the face with reality. Yeah, could feel a little bit intense, a little bit constrictive, a little bit restricting. Saturn has like almost like you feel like you're being pressed down. It can have that effect. Or if you have like your sun conjunct Saturn in your natal chart, or your moon conjunct Saturn, it can just have like a constrictive feeling. And it's not the most comfortable thing. I can laugh about it today because yesterday was a lot heavier, and so yeah, feeling kind of the release once we've been, like stretched outside of what we usually work within. Like it's really, with Saturn going retrograde, it's really asking us to like refine our skills and our craft and to really like master what we're doing. It's like it's going to slap us in the face with reality a little bit, and like, are you working within your means? Is this realistic? Is this do you have the steps planned out of how you're going to get to that end goal? The Saturn Capricorn energy is like the mountain goat, slowly climbing to the top of the hill. So making sure that you have everything that you need, that you're really going to be supported on this journey that you're getting ready to go on. So it's a really beautiful thing for them to be retrograde. Saturn and Pluto to be retrograde. It probably doesn't feel so beautiful all the time. It can feel pretty intense, but ultimately it's for the greater good. It's for our growth. So it doesn't always feel comfortable to grow. It really never feels comfortable to grow and to be stretched, beyond your means that you're used to living within, like a certain box that is safe and comfortable, and and you're safe in that space, but you're not able to grow and to expand by staying in that space. So that's why usually something kind of big can happen during your Saturn return, So if you're 28, 29, 30, mostly like 28, 29, especially, like 29, you're right in the middle of your Saturn return. You're going through your Saturn return. So during that time, something big usually happens, whether it's, a move, a career change, just life, death, just something that kind of can change the course of your life, because Saturn is coming back around in your chart to make sure that you're doing the work that you're here to do. So ultimately it wants us to grow. It wants us to face reality. It wants us to work within our means, but it doesn't feel super comfortable to be, shown that, for that to come up and be put in our face. So not only are we kind of working through that energy right now, and we're going to continue to be going through that energy for about 5 months. Saturn and Pluto are both retrograde, which is kind of leading up to this huge Saturn-Pluto conjunction that we're going to have in the beginning of 2020, in January of 2020. But yeah, we're where we are really going to be faced with reality. But right now, for the rest of this year, with Saturn, the South Node, and Pluto all being together within a few degrees, Saturn is at 20 degrees, the South Node's at 21, Pluto's at 23. So I'll just go through that conjunction real quick. So again, like the South Node representing the past and past lives and what we've done earlier in this lifetime. So we're doing a lot of reviewing of our past right now. Saturn is the structures that we have in our lives, the foundation that we've set for ourselves, the reality that we're operating in, making sure that we're like here on earth and we're facing reality, we're reviewing old structures that we've built, like, is this an integrity, is this long lasting, or what do I need to do to kind of, get that in better alignment. And then the Pluto energy is is wanting us to go deep within ourselves, to bring up all of the fears, the trauma, the abuse, any of that like residual lower vibrational shit that's hiding beneath the surface. Pluto's like, let's just bring it right up here and look at it and sit with it and be able to, hold space for yourself as all of this shit is coming up, and yeah, to not get consumed by it, to find the medicine in those lessons. So looking at maybe any fears that we've had around like stepping into our power more. Pluto rules power and our personal power, so that could be a big thing that's coming up with this new moon in Taurus that is happening on Saturday. Looking at any fears around stepping into your power, your authority, like how you go about sharing your gifts, how you go about, like expressing yourself in this physical world. Yeah, that's what's coming up. So looking at where Taurus falls in your chart, looking at what house Taurus takes up will give you, greater insight as to what area of your life it's going to affect the most. And this new moon that's happening in Taurus is at 14 degrees of Taurus. So specifically looking at where 14 degrees of Taurus falls in your chart, what house that's taking up. And then that'll be a time for, setting new intentions, new beginnings, new growth in this area of your life, and really moving through any fears around your sense of self, like your identity, or more around like your self-worth, how you go about sharing your gifts, how you go about accomplishing things on this material realm, and providing for yourself on this material realm. So looking at what house that falls in will give you greater insight there. Or if you want to do a reading, I can walk you through your chart and show you where it's going to show up, what house it's going to be in, and how it's going to affect you. But yeah, so we've got that stuff going on. I just wanted to, share that mostly about Saturn being retrograde, and that it can feel a little bit heavy. It can feel restrictive, but ultimately, we're being asked to level up, to take responsibility for our shit. Like, no playing, the victim, or like pity parties for yourself, or getting like stuck in that just, watery, like, oh, woe's me kind of energy. It's like Saturn has no time for that. Saturn is like slapping you around in the most loving way possible, but it's wanting you to grow up and to fucking like share your gifts that you came here to do. It is the planet of your life lesson. So you're learning wherever Saturn is in your chart. For me and people that are around 28, 29, 30 have Saturn in Capricorn. So with Saturn in Capricorn, like that is our life lesson. That is the work that we came here to do in this lifetime. So in order to, by doing that work, by fulfilling like, the karma, the life lesson that Saturn is wanting you to learn, then you'll be able to, just have a more full experience. You'll be able to share your gifts. You'll be able to, to ground down and to be here on earth, and to like, and to do the work that you're here to do. So, that's what I wanted to share. What else is going on? We also we've got Mars opposing Jupiter right now. So that aspect, it could, it's like Mars and Gemini can go in a lot of different directions. So maybe feeling pulled to, it's like, oh, I thought I was going to do this thing and now I'm going in this direction. And it's like, Gemini's all over the place. So, and then it's, so we've got that going on, and then it's opposing Jupiter in Sagittarius, which is wanting us to really see the big picture, to see the big perspective, like kind of rise above it all, and just understand what, like, all of the things that are happening in our lives right now, like the things that are shifting and moving, and just like not having attachment to what that needs to look like, but just allowing like these things to shift and to move around, and being able to, kind of see the bird's eye view, to take a step back and to see the bigger picture. As to what really matters, what is our ultimate truth, What is our reason for being here? Just living in more integrity. So, all right. That was my little update. I hope this is helpful. If you want to book a reading with me, you can go to my site, cosmicguidance.online, and check out the options that I have for different types of readings. I can do an astrology reading, past life regression, tarot readings, all kinds of readings. So, yeah, hope this was helpful.